bit on measuring. And so each of you has a ruler. And if you take a look at the ruler, you will see there's 12 inches. You're looking at the side that has the 12, not the centimeters. And you are going to make your own track, meaning your own path. So let's look at the instructions right up here. If you look up at the front.
Mr. Holmes, I don't want Mr. Holmes to trip.
You need to put your shoes on.
There we go. So look up. Here we go. So your track you're creating is going to be 30 inches. Your course should be mostly straight line, but your turns, and we had this when we did code.org, 90 degrees. So look up here. If I were doing this, I would first of all tell you you should use a pencil because pencils can be erased. The markers, once you make the mark with a marker, it's permanent, isn't it? Okay, now watch. Pretend this is my track. How many inches did I say?
30.
30. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to put the number 10 right down below that line so I know that's 10 inches. But I would use my ruler to measure 10. Then I'm going to go 90 degrees. That is a 90-degree turn. Just like that. That's 90 degrees. Remember that? Straight down. Or if it's going this way, a 90-degree turn that way would be straight up. Okay, watch. I measure this one, and this is 10. So how many inches are we at so far?
20.
Thank you, 20. How many inches do we have left?
2.
1.
40. 10. 1.
How many? Whoa, guys, whoa, stop.
You're at 20, you want to get to 30.
How many inches do we need it to be?
10.
30 inches. We've done, you said 10 plus 10 is 20. How many inches left?
10.
10 to get up to a total of 30. Now, if you look in here, it says also, though, that you need to let's see here. Let me make sure I have. You must use 3 codes. Those Evo color codes. And you can use any 3 that you want. But I want you to pay attention to the size of these, because when I did this with 3rd grade, they had some problems. Evo didn't follow theirs. And the reason is because if you look at how small these are, they made theirs too long. They made their codes kind of like this. They did, let me try different colors here. Let me do, they went like this. I should have used black here, shouldn't I have? Okay. They went long lines like this. And see how long those are? Oh, really long. Now look at how short they are here. Follow how short they are. You can choose any 3 that you want. Okay. Any questions?
Now, Mr. Holmseth, we've never used these before. You haven't used these in 2nd grade before.
We haven't used
No,
the Evo?
no, no, this is their first time, so you maybe wanna
I was
explain.
thinking, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
Oh my God.
I just wanna say, cause,
What
yeah,
happened last week?
last week you did the,
Robots. Dot
no,
and
no,
Jack.
John, you
Oh.
did not do it. Last week you talked about digital footprints, and then the
You're right.
week before you didn't do them, so
You're
you
right.
might want
Oh
to
my God.
demonstrate
Okay.
first.
My fault then.
That's all right.
Here's what we're gonna do. This will be no problem whatsoever. We're going to just make a solid line, and I want it to be any color you want for the line here, but change it to a different color when you go down here. Change it to a 3rd color when you come across here. And you're going to use these markers I'm handing out over here. And before you start making these, you have to measure it out with a pencil. Nobody use the markers until I say it's time to use the markers. Okay? All right. You with your partner start working with your pencil and your ruler, measuring out the total of 30.
30 inches.
And then I will
30.
hand these out.
I don't have a partner.
Tyson, can you just work? You might have to work on your own, okay?
You can work with us. Wait, how long is it gonna be? John, this might be actually gonna hurt. You're gonna have to use like a couple. Oh wait, you gotta move.
10, 10, 10. Don't, I want to start in the middle because you're not going to have enough.
Here's what.
You gotta make sure the 10 inches going that way. There you go. Now, don't put it way, yeah, that's good.
What did Mr. Holmseth draw? Did he draw 3 inches? You gotta listen.
All right, you wait, wait. 10 inches, boys, 10 inches, 10 inches, 10 inches.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, did I not hand this out yet? Yeah, guys, you haven't done anything yet.
We need
Get it
markers. At the back.
Now we're going to 10 inches.
Wait, I call blue, I call blue. No, wait. This time. You got number 5.
I call you 10 of the 10. Now we're going to go 10 inches this way.
10 inches. Oh, good. Oh boy, you know what? That really. I forgot, yeah. Okay.
Not my name. My name is not a kid. It's not my name. Yeah, that's your name. everything he does.
What the world is that? It's so small.
Hold it! Hold it!
Oh wait, you found that robot? You thought that was yours? Wow. I just let them walk.
Hold it! Hold it!
I'm targeting John.
Are you ready for their attention?
Yes.
Okay, holy moly! Okay, hands down, pencils down, eyes on Mr. Holmseth. He's going to give you the next direction. You guys went 40. That is not following the directions. He did not say to go 40. And I'm going to put you both down because I told you it's on the board, Mr. Holmseth.
Okay. Now, one of the things about using robots, and we've never had second graders use these. They're called Evo, as in EVO, Evo, Ozobots. And there's lots and lots and lots of things you can do with them. What you are doing is you are going to have them follow lines because there is what's called a sensor in these that when you put it on a line, I'm not sure about what we got going on here.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Carson and Mason, this is your last warning. You put your hands to your lap, you put your eyes on Mr. Holmseth, and you're watching and listening and learning. If you don't, then you're going to just be out in the hall.
And everyone else, you're going to really, really have fun with this. So, it follows lines with the sensor code. Now, the thing about the lines that you make is you have to make sure the lines are not real skinny lines. You see how skinny that line is? That line is skinnier than this line. This one right here is how wide it should be. Did everyone follow that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, you have to do something that's called calibrate. Now, what calibrate means is you need to load up some instructions with this to follow the correct lines correctly. I'm going to tell you how you calibrate. It's done the same way every single time. Okay, that one is on over there. You guys, it's pretty easy to not drop down on your board over there. All you have to do is pay attention. So if you take a look, there's a number in front of yours. And if you turn that number so it is facing you, the button is on the side. I'm tapping the button right now. That's the button you use to press down. Now there's a certain way of doing it. You can't just do this. Watch now. Some of you are not going to listen. If you just turn it on, it's not going to work correctly. There's a certain way to turn it on because it's called, you're going to calibrate it. I'm going to give these instructions one time. Listen carefully to these instructions. Okay. Each of you has a sheet. And on this sheet, there's a big black circle. You're going to use this circle every time to calibrate. Do not make your own, by the way. You have a black marker. Do not waste the marker by making it one on your own. Okay, so I'm going to press this button. And when I press this, I'm going to hold it until the very top of it. There's a light up here. When that turns white, then I'm going to set it down anywhere right on top of the black circle. And it will pause. It's going to think. It's going to start spinning. And then it's going to go outside the circle. When it goes outside the circle, you must watch to see if it turns green. If it turns green, congratulations, you've calibrated it. If it turns white, press it to shut it off. Try it again. All right, now, I'm going to say the instructions one more time. Ready? Listen. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to hold the button until it turns what color?
White. White. White.
White. You're not listening. You turn and hold it until it turns white. After it turns white, you set it down on the black circle. It's going to pause. It's going to spin. It's going to go outside the circle. And if it finishes with the green light, then you've done it correctly. All right. So, do we have a document camera?
I do not.
Yeah, okay. No, that's fine. Why don't you try it and see if you can get it to work? One more time.
Finally.
Okay?
It's not spinning.
Yep.
It's buffing. It's not spinning. It's not.
Try it again.
It's not at all. It's not a bowling ball. It has to be right on the spot.
Okay, try again. It's not bad. Try again. Pick it up. Yep.
Do it again. Yep, you can try it. Turn it on.
My phone ours.
Pay attention. Pay attention.
It's actually gonna make that color. It's moving.
How did you guys do that?
I don't know.
You have to turn it off and turn it back
As soon as you see turn white. Watch it. Nope.
Here we go. It's going. Spinning. Hello, are you taking it?
There. Got it. Now it's ready to go. Anybody get it to turn green?
Yes, we got it. We got it.
All right.
Then it just
Did you
stopped
get
in
it to
one
turn
area
green?
and it didn't do anything.
Did it turn green?
John.
Did it turn green? No. Did the top one? Or did it turn red?
No, it's keeps going in circles. It's partying again.
Do it again. There. Got it. So now it should follow those black lines. Did you guys get it to turn green out? It usually doesn't do that.
No, it's supposed to Ours turned green. Dad, watch. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. John, you have to keep watching.
Okay. Now, it's time for you to draw with your marker. So take one of your markers out that you're going to use.
I'll wait till you're done listening to him. Because I took him away because you weren't listening, so I'll wait.
Now, okay, I need your attention up here. You have your markers out?
Yep.
Now, when you draw the line, I want you to, okay, you guys right over here.
Wyatt and Brooklyn,
I'm talking.
why don't you both
Please
go
listen.
clip down? You're missing instructions.
What you're going to do is you're going to practice with these markers. Because, I don't know if you have ever heard of something, there's a tool, it's called a chisel.
Yes,
So a chisel is something that you want to chisel something else, and that's kind of the shape of this. And you want to have the wide line. So someplace off to the side, like here they have their 10, 10, 10. Maybe practice to see what angle do I need the marker at to make it that thick. Because if I do it at the wrong angle, or Yeah, at the wrong angle, look how different that is. See how different that is? We want it to be the thick line, so practice that. And then you can use your ruler to mark alongside that, or do it freehand. You decide. Alright, turn your Evo off so that battery doesn't die. To turn it on, you just press it one time and let go. Well, you should practice a little bit, and then when you're ready. Alright, so go ahead. All the erase marks off. Well, you're about ready, looks like. I think it's time. So go ahead, either use your ruler or figure out how you want to make sure you.
Mr. Holmseth. Mr. Holmseth. So it's gonna go like this. Red, green, black. So black.
It's going to start reading the color that we're thinking.
I need to find out.
Keep your practice making guidelines.
That won't work.
Where's your guys' practice? Right here? Okay, perfect. So this is your outlines.
So you're going to follow my directions?
Alright, see them up there.
Maybe this is all We're just gonna do one more. Wait, it has.
What is this? Which one did I tell you to do? This? Or this?
Guys, it says black, blue, red, green. And it gave it, and
Time now.
then
What did I say about colors?
So black is Mr. Holmseth.
I want 3 different colors. One color, one color, one color.
Mr. Holmseth. Why? This thing. So what?
Okay, I want you to do your lines. Go ahead and make sure you're doing your lines.
It's gonna be black.
They're go- yeah, they do. They're going to discover this, that it's going to turn the color up. So we're just going to use one line and one color instead of the cone. I was way ahead of myself with that. Way ahead. Yep. Go ahead and do all 3 lines. All 3 lines.
And trace your lines, and you might want to make them each maybe a different color, because then your robot might do something different. But if they've already made theirs black, so there's no way of changing it. But just that's why you have the different colors.
Yep.
So the only thing he's gonna do.
I do nothing.
Yeah. So you guys, maybe if I were next to you, I would use your different colors.
I know, that's what I've been telling you.
So he doesn't really do anything cool.
You guys want this black.
And this line is too far, so it's right here, it won't turn.
Alright, scissors? Awesome, let's see it. Put your robot on. Go ahead.
We get in trouble. If we get in trouble, we're blaming it on me.
So green light, blue. You gotta do it again.
It's turning green. That's doing nothing. It's doing nothing. I have to make a new track now. Here, we're making it. Trying to make it. Now we're doing it. I did red.
Miss Murphy, we're making another one. Zoe does.
Okay,
Keep it on video.
Never put it down there.
Joe, John, no.
Turn it off.
I just.
What are you doing?
Ready? Here we go.
Did it work? All right.
Well, we didn't try the robot.
No, that's not gonna work. Okay, guys. When you're done, when you are finished, everybody stop for a moment.
Supposed to be fat. The red. You have to redo the red.
Need all eyes up here. Need all eyes up here. One thing that I did notice that's pretty impressive is that it does look like people measured properly, where it was 10 inches, 10 inches, 10 inches. Now, the following directions has been just a little bit shaky. So when I'm talking, should you be doing your own thing? Because when you're talking to me, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to you. That's important. Okay, does that make sense? Now, has anybody discovered what happens when you have different colors and you put them on the track? What happens?
The robot turns different colors when it goes on the line.
Is there a way of determining what color, or is it random?
Well, if the robot's on the blue one, it turns blue. If the robot's on the black one, it turns black. If it's on the red one, it turns red.
Very, very good. So it follows the colors. And what we really want to get to is the point of this. I want you to take a look up here. Put your hand down just for a moment. Because the color codes you can't be doing your thing when I'm talking. Okay? Eyes right up here. If you take a look right here, Carson, what does that say? U-turn. What does this say? Can you read that word? Tornado. Here's one that says spin. So what this will do is it's going to follow the line, and when it gets to these color code combinations, meaning it has to be this exact sequence, red, green, it's going to do a tornado move where it spins just like a tornado does. And so you can see, here's one that's really cool. It does a back walk where it's going along the line and it reaches this color code, red, green, black, and blue. And then when it reaches it, it goes back and then it will take off again. So it is a lot of fun with these things. But you have to make sure that you know how to make those codes. Okay, so we're running out of time. And what I'm going to ask you to do, I think we can can you put your names on your
Papers.
sheets? Yeah. And then I need you to put your markers back in the box. And then come over and we will put the sheet in here. I will take the markers and the Evo. Make sure they are turned off.
Johnny, ready?
Not open this place.
Why is it doing a tornado?
Then it's supposed to be on that table up there in the box.
Take the picture. Go right to the robot. I'm taking the robot. I got it. Right here.
Oh yeah, you had a question. I need the ruler.
I like your desk. No,